Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more figures from Star Wars The Force Awakens, and in these next couple of videos we're going to take a look at some products from the Disney Store exclusive range of Elite Series diecast figures. For those of you that aren't aware, the Disney Store exclusive range of Elite Series figures is a line of 7.5 inch tall action figures made for the most part from die-cast metal. They're very similar in concept to the Black Series 6 inch line produced by Hasbro. However, in terms of overall quality, accessories and value for money, this is definitely the best line of the two. If you're at war with yourself at the moment as to whether or not to collect figures from the 6 inch Hasbro line or the Elite Series range from Disney, in my opinion at least, this is the line to go to, and I can't recommend it enough. Before we jump into this review, I want to give a huge thanks and a shout out to the guys at the Walt Disney Company and the Disney Store who were more than kind enough to supply a couple of these figures for a review, and after this review I'll be back to give you a look at another figure from this line as well. So there's tons to look forward to here on the channel, and in this review we're going to take a look at one of the core characters from The Force Awakens. It is of course the villain of the piece, none other than this guy, Kylo Ren. This is a really cool figure, and I'm really impressed with the way that Disney have handled the Elite Series range. As I said, detail, articulation, accessories and overall value for money is absolutely on point with all these figures. I'm a huge fan of the line and I cannot wait to pick up more figures from it. Before I talk about this guy in too much detail, however, I do want to give you a look at the packaging that this guy comes in. Now, one of the things that I really like about the Elite Series range is that they serve as great mint in box display pieces or loose action figures. As you can see, the packaging on the Elite Series range looks absolutely awesome. It's really sleek, really professional and just really nice overall. I really like this metallic red trim that we have around the edge of the box. The colour scheme looks really cool as well. Obviously you've got the window there where the figure would sit. Got the die-cast sticker on the front of the box, accompanied by the Elite Series logo itself, and then in the top corner we have the Disney Store logo as well. On the reverse side of the box we get a brief description about the Elite Series range itself, as well as a bio of the character. Now, another positive aspect about this Elite Series range of figures is the price. As you can see labelled on the back there, here in the UK these figures retail for £18.95, which is an absolute steal in my opinion. That is a couple of pounds cheaper than the Black Series 6 inch range produced by Hasbro, and again, in terms of value for money and overall quality, this is an awesome line to collect. So, you know, can't fault it at all. The quality of the figures are awesome, the price is absolutely fantastic, and these are just really cool figures. So, with the packaging aside, let's take a look at what we get inside. And the first thing, and very welcome addition that we get with this Elite Series range, is this. We do get display stands with these figures, which is absolutely awesome. One of the things obviously to point out about these figures is that they are made of die-cast metal, and as such are rather heavy, and they do have a tendency to fall over. So obviously the display stands themselves are welcome additions and necessities in many ways. And this is something that we've been harbouring for from Hasbro for quite some time. So it's nice to see Disney, you know, take that step forward, use their initiative, and give these items to us. So really big fan of that. So again, with the packaging and display stand aside, let's take a look at the figure himself. And let me tell you, this guy looks absolutely phenomenal. Not only do I love the design of the Kylo Ren character, but I think each of his action figures that have been released so far translate really well into action figure form. You know, the detail is captured so well on each of these. Just it looks like it jumped off screen, which is absolutely awesome. You know, it's a scaled down replica in many ways of the costume worn by Adam Driver in the film. One of the really cool things I like about this figure is the amount of detail that's gone into the mask. As you can see, if we get a close up on the face there, Kylo Ren's mask does feature all those really cool details, such as the silver trim around the eyes. You've got those dints and various signs of battle damage in the faceplate, and if we come around the hood and the cape of the figure as well, you'll see all those creases and folds, all that wear and tear in the cape as well, which just looks absolutely phenomenal and is captured really well. Again, you've got that textured sculpt in the cape itself, which looks fantastic. You've also got this really nice light grey wash which weathers the figure as well, makes him really look like he's been through the wars. So I'm really interested to see how Kylo Ren comes across on screen. Obviously with each of these figures, articulation is definitely a strong point. What I really like about these is the fact that they sort of blur the line between statue or maquette and action figure. You know, they are made of die-cast metal, they're very heavy, so they serve as great display pieces, but they're articulated as well, so if you want to play with these, get them in battles and all that sort of stuff, you can definitely do that. And again, the articulation on these is phenomenal. Not quite as good as the Black Series 6-inch line from Hasbro. It's a little bit more toned down, a little bit more basic, but still very cool to see nonetheless. So with regards to Kylo Ren, in terms of articulation, we do get a ball joint at the head, which sadly is hindered by the sculpted hood on the cape, which as you can see is non-removable. So obviously it's a little bit more difficult and tricky to move the head around. We do get hinges at the elbows. We also have hinges at the, hinges at the shoulders rather, and hinges at the elbows there. We have swivels at the wrist, swivel at the waist, hinges at the hips, knees, and hinges at the ankles as well. Now as I said, most of these figures, or all of these figures, are made from, for the most part, die-cast metal. However, there are aspects of the figure that are made from soft plastic, and this is obviously to allow for the posability and articulation to come into play. With this particular figure, the hood and the cape is made of a soft rubbery plastic, as are the lower robes, which again offers that articulation point at the hip there. It just allows you to get this guy in a few more poses that you wouldn't get him in if these were made of die-cast metal. So very, very nice to see that. Another thing I really like about this figure is the fact that he is posed in a really cool stance. As you can see, the hand in particular is sort of posed in this force push sort of motion. It's very similar to the pose that we see him in the third Force Awakens trailer, where he seems to be using some sort of mind trick or torture on Poe Dameron. He's got his hand raised up to Poe's head, and Poe looks to be in tremendous agony. So really cool that they've captured that pose with this figure. As you can see as well, in terms of accessories, we do get Kylo Ren's trademark crossguard lightsaber, which again is sculpted really, really nicely. You've got some fantastic detail in the lightsaber hilt itself, and again you've got that fiery texture within the blade, which again lends itself to the unconventional and crude design of the lightsaber itself. There you go, you just get a closer look there at the hilt itself. One negative aspect really to point out about this figure is the fact that the hand that grips the lightsaber is sculpted rather open, in the sense that it doesn't grip the lightsaber very well. Without the aid of this clear elastic band in place, the lightsaber just tends to drop out of the hand, which is a little bit of a shame. You know, it doesn't lose the figure too many points, but it would have been nice if we could have just placed that lightsaber in the hand without the aid of a rubber band. So, you know, a little bit of an inconvenience there, but nothing too major. As you can see, with the rubber band in place, you can't really tell. Although, as I said, it would have just been nice if we didn't have to do that. But for the most part, a fantastic figure. Again, love the sculpt, love the design, and the detail on this guy is awesome. Once again, that light grey wash really finishes the figure off nicely. As you can see on the torso there, you've got this nice shiny finish on the belt. It's just a stunning looking figure, and again, a really, really nice display piece. Whether or not you want to keep this one out of the box or mint in the package, either way, it displays really, really well. And again, for the money, can't recommend this guy enough. So if you want him, get him. And as always, there's a link down below in the video description where you can pick this guy up for yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at the Disney Store exclusive Elite Series die-cast Kylo Ren figure. And I'll be back to give you a look at another figure from this range very soon. So stay tuned for that. Once again, a huge thanks goes out to Disney for providing this figure for a review. And I'll be back with many more very soon. So until then, as always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.